The wall coverings may be purely decorative, in which case ability to bring color, pattern, texture, light or shade to the room may be of the greatest importance. On the other hand, the covering may be required to give an easily clean and hygienic surface. The choice is very wide and the style should suit the purpose, furnishings and the architectural specs of the room. The type of which finish selected will depend largely on contribution to decor. The color, texture and pattern will influence the apparent warmth and dimension of the room and the level and type of illumination used. The type of room, its existing size and decoration must be considered. The ease of cleaning. Smooth, hard, impervious surfaces, preferably light colored, can be cleaned easily, whereas textured surfaces tends to attract and hold dust. Third, the state of existing surface. The textured and patterned finish can be used to mask poor surfaces. Then we have the resistance to abrasion and knocks. Hard surfaces will be best for this purpose. Stain resistance. A non-porous surface has more resistance than the porous ones. Durability. Surfaces subject to abuse, knocks, stains, and abrasion requires finishes that are resistant, can be cleaned easily, inexpensively restored, or repaired whenever required. Life expectancy. Where decor of the room is intended to change relatively frequently, less expensive finishes are appropriate. Insulations. How much ever possible, finishes with good sound insulation properties should be selected. Cost. While comparing cost of different finishes, not only one should the cost of the material and the application should be considered, but also the cost of its damage, restoration, and expected frequency of complete redecoration should be borne in mind. Let's talk about the various types of the wall coverings. First, we have paints and lacquers. Paints can be applied to almost any surface providing it is free from water, grease, or dust and is of sound construction. For example, plaster must be smooth, hard, and not flaking from the underlying plasters or brickwork. As wall covering paints offer a wide choice of types, colors, degrees of gloss, and design. For window frames and sills, doors, and skirting boards, slightly glossy paints is required so that, along with providing a contrast in color and texture to the main wall finish, it acts as a protective coating and thus contributing to decor of the room. It is relatively cheap, specially applied and cleaned, and can give a textured and multicolored effect. The only disadvantage is that it shows soils and wall imperfections more readily than any other wall covering. What are the different types of the paints which are used in the wall covering? These are emulsion, alloys, multicolored, textured or plastic, and microporous. Let's talk about some of them in detail. The emulsion paints. They are water thinned but are based on dispersions of synthetic resins. For example, polyvinyl acetate. Alloyed paints. They are based on synthetic resins combined with vegetable oil, such as linseed oil. The conventional types were natural resins, which are still used in primers and undercoat paints. Alloyed paints are generally easier to apply and have better durability and wearing property than any other type. Polyurethane and silicone are sometimes included to give more scratch resistant surfaces. They are available in gloss, silk, and flat finish. Multicolored paint. They are usually dispersions of cellulose colors in water. Each color is present in separate blobs or spots. The resulting effect depends on number of different colors, degree of contrast between them, and the size and distribution of spots. This paint should be applied by spraying. It is extremely hard wearing and the multicolor effect helps in hiding the irregularities and imperfections. It is usually applied on walls of corridors, sanitary accommodations, and similar areas to give a stain and abrasion resistant finish, which can be washed and cleaned regularly. Let's talk about textured and plastic paints. They are usually plaster based and are intended to give a textured or relief effect on surface. The texture is obtained by working over the material after application and while it is still wet using combs, palettes, knives, strippers, etc. Some are self-colored while others may require painting when they dry. The moderate types are based on heavy-bodied synthetic resins, emulsions, and may be applied by spraying directly on the concrete or similar surfaces, thus eliminating the need of plaster. Microporous paints. They have a rubberized base which gives little gloss but offers elasticity and allowing movement when the surface expands or contrast. The other wall covering is known as the wallpapers. They may be smooth or have a textured surface effect. This may be done by supremo superimposing or interlacing of other substance to give a rough surface, or by clever designing when visual effects gives an apparent depth. Smooth finishes are more resistant to dust and dirt than rough ones, but generally stain shows more in smooth finishes. The pattern may be floral, geometric, abstract, stripped, etc. The choice depends on the room's aspect, height, size, and use of room. Large patterned papers tend to overpower and tend to make the room appear smaller than it actually is. Wastage is also higher as patterns have to be cut to match each other. In addition to conventional wallpapers, now many paper bagged materials are also available. For example, the fabrics, woods, veneers, plastics, etc. The main type of these paints are the surface printed papers. A pattern is applied to the surface of the paper by one of the following method. 1. By the use of hand printing or with the help of screen printing. A wide range of colors and designs are produced with usually a smooth surface finish. The cost is related to the design and the method of reproduction. The paper is not washable and damp wiping must be undertaken with great care. It can be easily soiled and stained as well. Spongeable paper. They are specially treated during manufacturing with withstand water. They are similar in all other aspects of surface printed papers. Washable papers. Similar to surface printed papers but has a plastic coating giving it a good stain resistance and enabling it to withstand the washing. Anaglypts. It is an embossed paper that is relatively inexpensive, used to cover poor surfaces. It is normally painted after hanging. Its stain resistance and washability depends on the type of the paint applied. Then the other category is link crusts, a heavily embossed paper that may have a plastic coating containing a paper bagged textured composition and frequently stimulating wood paneling. The wood chip paper or the oatmeal papers. Wooden floorings or chips are sandwiched between two layers of paper. Its properties are similar to Anglypt's paper. Flock papers. A raised patterned pile is fixed up adhesive to a paper backing. The piles may be cotton, silk, wool, or synthetic. It attracts and holds dust and is expensive. The surface of the paper may be damp wiped. Metallic papers. Papers printed with gold or other metallic powders are known as the metallic papers. Food grain papers. Photographic reproduction of various food grains waxed during manufacture. Paper bagged hessians. Strands of hessians fixed to a paper backing to give the appearance of a hessian covering. It is not washable, but surface can be damp wiped. It is easily stained and damaged by the abrasion. It is available in large variety of colors. The other categories of the wallpapers are paper bagged woven grasses, paper bagged wools. Now let's talk about the advantages and disadvantages of wallpaper. As we all know, these days wallpaper are into much trend as it contributes majorly to the decor. It has the ability to cover the poor surfaces and high insulations. The disadvantage or the negative points of such wall covering is it is costly in nature, can be limitedly used, can be easily got affected by abrasion, can stains easily. It is very much difficult to clean because it is made up of paper and paper has a soaking capacity. And it is not very durable. Let's talk about some cloths which are used in the covering of the walls. One is the polyvinyl chloride cloth or the PVC cloth. These are woven cotton finished with a layer of PVC and are used to form the decorative panels on walls or doors. It may be plain or quilted, involving the use of a foam stuffing and fixed by adhesive or metal studs. It produces a luxurious effect, improves sound and thermal insulation, but is expensive and difficult to repair satisfactorily. Leather. They are extremely expensive but are very decorative. They may be padded and studded with the brass studs. They are usually not used to cover the whole wall. Its effect wherever required and can be stimulated with plastics. Let's talk about the other category known as the plastic wall covering. The plastic wall covering are available in large variety owing to their abrasion resistance. They are more hard wearing and easily cleaned than any other covering. As they are non-porous, tendency of growth of molds is higher. Therefore, the adhesive should contain fungicides and fungidial wash should be applied on the wall prior to applying the wall covering. There are various other subcategories as well. Some are paper bagged vinyl. The vinyl may have the appearance of almost any material, for example, silk, tweed, hessian, cork, grass paper, wood, stone, or brick. Then we have the fabric bagged vinyl, plastic wall tiles, laminated plastics, and expanded polyurethane. Fabric wall covering, the fabric chosen should not be liable to sag, buckle, or stretch when hung permanently on the wall and should not collect excessive dust or the dirt. The woven fabric, for example, hessian, is majorly used as a wallpaper, but as a hangings, it is tapestries, oriental carpets, drapes, etc. It is durable in nature, but it also depends upon the type of fiber and the weaving used. Then we have the glass wall covering. The glass can be used in the form of decorative tiles, mosaics, bricks, or full sheets. The glass bricks allows light to pass through the wall itself. Colored opaque glass sheets or tiles may be used in bathrooms. Mirror tiles are used to reflect the lights and to alter the apparent size. Large uniform mirror may be used to cover the whole wall like over a vanity unit or dressing table or onto a corridor wall. It consists of polyester film vacuum coated with aluminum and mounted on a flat frame. As you can see over here, a wall covering made up of glass. Now let's talk about the wood paneling. Wood are used for paneling are usually hard. The wood paneling. The wood used for paneling are usually hard, well seasoned and of a decorative appearance. Most commonly types used are oaks, mahogany, teak, etc. It may cover the wall from the corner to corner. It may be solid or veined and finished with wax polish. It will last for years with little maintenance, providing precautions are taken in respect of dry rot and rot worms, though initial installing cost will be high. A wood paneling is usually found in entrance halls, staircases, assembly halls, boardrooms, and restaurants. The metal wall covering. Metals can be used as wall coverings for their hygienic qualities. Copper and anodized aluminiums are decorative and may be used in areas such as bars where metals in combination with rows of bottles and interesting lighting creates an impressive effect. Stainless steel is used in tile form in kitchens where they present a durable, easy clean, hygienic surface. Metal skirting boards covers edges between walls and floor surfaces. Metal foil can be elegantly and sparklingly used as a wall covering. The other materials which can be used as a floor covering also can be used as a wall covering. They provide different colors, patterns, and textures. Though expensive, they are hard wearing and abrasion resistant. The various types are linoleum, cork, carpets, marbles, terrazzo, ceramic tiles, granite, bricks, and stones. Now let's talk about the various cleaning procedures of the various wall covering. If you talk about the painted surface, first we need to remove the basic light dust with the help of broom. Then we can use a damp wipe or wash if necessary and permissible. Do not ever apply wax polish or oil to gloss the painted surface, as the painted surface may absorb the oil and can get stained permanently. Do not use any kind of harsh abrasive, strong solvent, or strong soda solution. Cleaning procedure for the wallpapers. Remove the surface dust. Use low suction for the flock papers. Remove marks by rubbing or sponging. Attempt to remove grease. Fabric wall covering. Remove surface dust. For beautiful hangings, dismantle and send to professional dry cleaners. Where hessian is stuck to the wall, scrub very lightly. If necessary, use warm water and detergent. In case of wood paneling, first of all we need to remove the surface dust and polish if necessary. Where, where paneling has become dirty or greasy, wipe with white spirit or vinegar and water, then repolish. Dark oak may be wiped over with beer. Glass wall covering. Dust or wipe with a damp chamois leather or scrim. Care should be taken while cleaning the mirrors so that the damp does not go into the black. I'm sorry. Care should be taken while cleaning mirrors so that the damp does not go into the back. Metal wall covering. Dust or wipe with the damp cloth. Polish if necessary. For the leather wall covering, first we need to remove the surface dust and then apply the polish sprayingly and rub well. For the protection, for the protection of wall covering, there are certain points which we need to keep in mind. First, the life expectancy of a wall covering or finish can be increased and the cost of cleaning, maintenance, and restoration reduced in several ways. Selection of finish should be suitable for the degree of soilage, abuse, and damage expected. Select a covering that does not hold and attract dust and can be easily cleaned and restored if damaged or stained. Use a more durable and easy to clean and maintain the surface for the lower part of the wall. Use plastic sheets on less durable surfaces that are subjected to staining and knocks. Fit finger plates on doors, light, switches, and other places where hands will constantly come in contact with the surface. Use door stoppers to prevent damage to surfaces behind the doors. Use kick plates to protect the lower part of the door. Use door stoppers to prevent damage to surface behind the doors. Use kick plates to protect the lower part of the door. Treat porous surfaces with soil retardant finish. The other points which can be taken into consideration in terms of the maintenance are: periodic cleaning should be scheduled so that the obstinate dust and grime do not settle in. Before cleaning the walls, remove any pictures, mirrors, or accessories hung up on them. Push the furnitures to the middle of the room and cover them with the dust sheets. First, wipe down the walls with a cloth covered brush or a vacuum cleaner attachment. For the purpose, then remove the cobwebs and dust berries by dusting from the bottom up. When washing down painted walls or washable coverings, work from the bottom up. Finally, wipe the washed floor to ceiling section with a sponge wrung out in clean water, working from the top down, then move to the area adjoining. We also need to follow certain steps while cleaning the washable wall covering. For example, start from the bottom of the wall and work up. Gently sponge with a mild detergent in warm water. Rinse thoroughly with clean warm water using a sponge. Do not use abrasive cleaners. Always wipe with the seams dry with a soft lint-free cloth, especially for the wallpapers that is not washable or delicate. You should clean your wallpaper with a dry cleaning sponge or a dry cleaning eraser. Grass cloths and textiles may be vacuumed with a clean vacuum cleaner brushes. Specific cleaning instructions including durability and stain resistance are included on every roll of wall covering and should always be read and understood.